Hey everyone, I'm Mary Sarah and welcome back to Sing, Sew, Repeat. Okay, so we're just a few days into May of 2025. So last month in April, there was a sewing challenge for blouses. So April Blouse 25. I entered 2 blouses in for that. The one was the new look pattern that I did in my last video about all of my Easter makes. And then the one after that was what was it? I have it here. A simplicity pattern that I also entered. So that's the one I'm going to chat about today since I've already done the review on the other one. So that was Simplicity 9749. 9749. And I did view A, but I did shorten the sleeves. So I just didn't want them that long. I really kind of had in my mind like a short sleeve blouse. And I got this pattern. It's from, the year is 2023, but I saw on Dine-In Creativity on her channel, she had sewn up this blouse, and I think she did a couple different modifications for it too. So very inspired by her video. So I went out promptly and bought it. Okay, so what I sewed it in, excuse me, is one of those silky fabrics from Joann's, and it's just like a poly blend. I think it actually has like a little bit of a stretch in it, but just one of the silky type fabrics. I don't remember the content exactly. So, but I chose this one. Let's see what the fabrics for this were: chambray, cotton blends, gingham, linen blends, and poplin. But like I said, Dine-In Creativity, she did it in, I think, a chiffon. It was like a light blue, really lightweight chiffon, and I loved that fabric choice. So when I saw this, I knew I was going to do a blouse out of this fabric. I just didn't know which one at first. And then I saw on her channel and I thought, for sure, I have to do this. So I did kind of what she did. I think she shortened the sleeves on that one. She does another peasant blouse on her channel. It's an older, a vintage pattern, but I don't remember what the brand is. But anyway, I'll link her account in the description for that. So anyway, this was really simple. I haven't done a blouse like this before. This was like a challenge. I have used fabric that was kind of like this, but I didn't even do a mock-up. I probably, maybe I should have, because I do feel like it's a little bit big, but I do like the fit of it. And I've studied the finished garment measurements. I've done all the things. Like I said in my last video, I made it way too big and I had to do a lot of editing. So this one I actually just cut a straight size 14. And so that's in where my bust is. And I think I said this last video too. My bust is a 14. My waist and hips are in the 16, but I just did a straight 14 for this one. Now, while I did view A, you're gonna notice that it's a little pulled in here, so I didn't leave it free flowing. Once I had it on, I wanted it cinched in, but I didn't want to do the cropped length that is view B. That was just gonna be too short. I have a varying waistline of bottom options. So I have high-waisted, I've kind of got mid-rise, and I wanted to make sure that this was gonna work no matter what bottom I had on. So when I got it done, I didn't really want it kind of flowing either. I just didn't feel like it suited it. Once I shortened the sleeves, I think having this cinched in a little bit. Now I hardly did any at all. It just is enough to kind of pull it in. You'll see that in the pictures. It's just enough to kind of pull it in, and it still looks a little bit like half of it's kind of left undone in my pants. So you'll see that. But this was so pretty. Now, I did only a couple little things. I wouldn't even say they were modifications, but on some of the bias tape, I did cut it from the fabric itself, because I did have, I think I made this out of 1.5 yards, because like when I bought it, I didn't know what I was going to make out of it. So I got 1.5 yards. So I did make some of that bias tape out of that. Now there wasn't enough to do that with, and I didn't want to piece it together. So I did end up using bias tape that was in my stash already on the sleeves. It's like the back, a little part of the back and the sleeves. And honestly, this fabric from the bias tape from the fabric is way more comfortable. This does give it a little bit more of a sturdy sitting on my shoulders. So I don't know what I would do next time, if I would go ahead and still use bias tape. And this was the only one I had left. So I have since bought like a dark green color, but you really can't see it when it's on. But yeah, really, really pretty simple. It's got a couple different panels. It has like a side back and then a center back. This part I think is done on the fold, and then the front does have a center seam. Now, and I was so worried about getting two oranges right at my bust, so I played around with it a little bit so as not to have that. So it worked out. So yeah, this was that, and I love the way it looks. It's super lightweight, and I live in Florida, Central Florida, so having something that is nice and lightweight and airy. Also, that was another reason why I didn't want super long sleeves. And I'm glad I did it in something that wasn't really structured. I'd be interested to try this again in a chambray or cotton blend. Even a gingham I think would be so pretty. I have been eyeing some gingham, like an idea of it. I don't know which one I want to do, if I want to do black and white or red and white. I don't know. But I would be interested in doing that for this summer. So yeah, highly recommend this one. I loved it. Thank you, Dine and Creativity, for the inspiration. I appreciate that. As far as what's happening this next week, I'm just really excited. I'm going to use some fabric from my stash, and I found a pattern on Etsy. So I know these tie front blouses are super popular right now. I'm seeing them everywhere, but where I'm seeing them is also with a peplum, and I really just wasn't interested in doing another kind of top with a peplum, which is what I just did for the April, or the Easter blouse that I did. So I found this one, and I thought that was so cute, and it's actually a little bit more hip length, so not really cropped, high-waisted cropped. And I'm gonna do that in this fabric I got probably a year or so ago from Fabric Mart. So it's a poplin, cotton poplin, really crisp, and I think it is horizontal. Yeah. And it's kind of got these, like, they're not ribbons, but you can see, if I can get it really, oh dear. It kind of has a ribbon effect, but I don't know what kind of, yeah, like the thread runs through it on the, anyway, I don't know. I don't know all the technical terms, but if you know what this is, let me know. So I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to do it's Genow patterns. I'm not sure, but she's also on Instagram and YouTube. I just found her, but I found this one on Etsy is where she sells her patterns. And I'm going to do this one, the one with the ruffle bottom puff sleeve. I'm very excited. I am very excited because I actually have a lot that this will go with. And I have other plans for some different patterned bottoms that this will go with. So very excited about that. That's the one I'm going to cut into this week. I've already got the pattern put together, so I just have to place that and get that cut out. Now I do have 3 yards of this, so I'm thinking I may make like a pair of shorts, or if I can squeeze that out of there, if I have enough left over, then I was thinking about making a little short set. All these doors closing. My kids are in their nap, but my husband's like coming in and out, so if you can hear that. And now you can hear my daughter banging on the wall. I love it. So yeah, I'm doing that this week. What else? Ooh, I went to one of my local Joann. So the one in Sanford did just close, I think last week. So the one in Altamont though is still open. So I went there over the weekend and I found more of this fabric, and I have been obsessed with this. I'm not even a big prints person, like with like oranges. This is so not typically me, but when I first saw this like a month or so ago, a couple months ago, I couldn't get it out of my head. This is right when Joann announced that they were closing. So this was only like 20% off, but I was so obsessed with it that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna get some. So after I made it, I thought, well, I kind of want to make a set. So I went down to the one in Altamont and they did have this, and that was at 50% off. So I went ahead and got, I think, just 2 yards of that. So thinking like a loose, flowy pant and doing a set. We shall see. I don't have a pattern for that exactly that I would want to do, so I'd have to look for that. I have plenty to look through, so I don't think I need any more. There's a few I can think of that I would like to make from it, so, but we'll see. That'll come later. That's not like a huge rush. What else did I make this week? I do make some things for my daughter. I made her a little pillow and blanket set for her doll, except the pillow did not meet her standards. It needs to be bigger and longer. So I have to redo that. So yeah, well, I think that's it. So thank you for watching this week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.